Mine's a small practice, McKendry-Hunt Architects. So it's a boutique practice. It's really just myself and one staff, which currently is a draftsperson. I actually work hard to keep my business small and to keep it at a manageable level, which I know really frightens some people. Yep, born and bred in Newcastle. Yep, travelled a lot, but I always come back to Newcastle. It's just a great place to work and live, and there's a vibrant architectural community in Newcastle. I think most people would be surprised to actually find the depth of architectural practices that are in Newcastle. I guess it's dominated by two big firms. So there's EJE Architecture and DWP Suitors, who both have offices in other parts of Australia as well as overseas. Both of those are great training grounds for architects. I've worked for both of them, so I can say that. Other than that, there's probably about 10 or 15 sort of small to medium practices, and some of those, the medium ones, I'd say be around 20 staff, maybe 15 to 20, and there are a few small ones like my own. I found that the creativity that attracts people to architecture in the first place, myself included, the further you go into management, the harder it is to actually be involved with that creativity, because you basically end up delegating it, which really, I got to a point where I decided that wasn't where I wanted to be and wasn't where I set out to be as an architect. Like, my market is that sort of engagement with clients where it's a one-on-one sort of relationship, and so it's very personable. I'm happy for other firms in Newcastle to take on the whole global domination thing if they want to do that, but since I've been working for myself, it's about taking ownership of the design and being able to own that creativity. Basically every job we do takes more than a year in terms of its gestation to get from sort of the initial idea through to construction. The apartment building took like 5 years, so sometimes it takes a lot longer. Seven-storey apartment building, just about finished at Belmont, and I wouldn't normally have looked to take on something like that as a sole practitioner, but because of my background and having done those sorts of buildings for other firms, you can attract those sort of jobs, which was really good. But without the technology, you couldn't have sort of taken it on. But now it's really easy, because you can just do everything over the internet and basically collaborate very easily, and so everyone can sign into the same project, and we can actually all work on it from different offices remotely anywhere in the world. I'm pleased that I've been able to see something so big come out of a small office and out of a very small sort of starting point. Also the radio station, that's 2GO and CFM for Southern Cross Austereo, so they're located at Gosford, and they had some broadcast studios that hadn't been touched since 1979, I think it was. It was like a little time warp. You can go in there and it was very retro, would be the nice way of saying it. We made it a bit more innovative in terms of its acoustic response as well. We had very strong involvement with the acoustic consultants and with their own broadcast technicians. I like to think that architecture is of its time, and people often say, why do we build buildings the way they are now? Why don't we build them like we did back in 1900 or whatever? Because they might like them. But why would you want to have buildings that don't represent their time? You don't want to look back in 50 years' time and say, oh, I think that was done in 1950 when actually it was done in 2010. I think it's important that buildings represent where we're at as a society. As an architect, you get to do something from start to finish, and you get to walk past it and enjoy it and be a part of it for the next whatever, and I think that there's very few professions that sort of offer that.